What's up guys, this is Toby. Let's talk about bass pinch harmonics. Some of you may have seen me do bass pinch harmonics across my videos. And as you guys have been asking, let's finally cover exactly what's going on when you apply pinch harmonics onto fingerstyle bass. So bass pinch harmonics stem from the more common technique of a guitar pinch harmonic, an artificial harmonic played with a pick. When you play the string with your pick and your thumb simultaneously, what happens is the string will hit your thumb just a little bit. It causes an artificial harmonic to come out as the reward. My friend Seb here is an amazing guitarist. He's going to demonstrate how to use a pick to get a pinch harmonic. So how do we take this and apply this to fingerstyle bass? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our thumb and rest it right ahead of our plucking fingers. So the way we want to pluck the string is just with our index or middle finger, right through the string like that, with the index finger there. And then what we'll do is our thumb is already really close and naturally just sitting right near our plucking finger. So what we'll do is we'll rest that right ahead of our plucking finger until it starts touching the string. And that pretty much creates the artificial harmonic, the pinch harmonic that we're looking for. The goal here is to pluck hard enough with your finger so that it does hit your thumb and then bounce back off with the harmonic ringing nice and loud. I typically use my middle finger to get these kind of sounds because it's the bigger, stronger finger. You can get it with your index. Both totally work, but the goal here is to get a really strong sounding note so that the harmonic rings just as loud as other notes. So for striking the string, you want to pull the string down to the string below like this. The goal here is to pull straight down into the string, not to do this metal kind of technique, striking really aggressively from above. You do want to pull the string because that gets you a much more louder note sound than an attack sound on the actual note. So pull the string like that. It's going to allow the harmonic to ring louder, whereas if we kind of go for a more aggressive sound, there's a bit more interference of the attack of the note rather than the sustain, which is really what we're looking for here. So pulling the string down, just like that, to the string below is exactly the goal here. Natural harmonics are all over the bass and all over the guitar. We've got the most obvious one being the 12th fret here, and then 9th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret, other 4th fret, and a few more. Those are our natural pinch harmonics, and our artificial ones are going to be created with our right hand up higher here, or via a different technique rather than just using your left hand to hit that harmonic there. Even just try and get that 12th fret harmonic with our right hand. This is very possible by resting our thumb directly on the 12th fret there and then plucking it with our plucking finger. So basically that's the same concept as hitting the 12th fret with our left hand there, except with just using our right hand. And what we can do is we can move up to the octave of that, and this is going to be our starting point of how to start doing pinch harmonics and bass by doing it on the 24th fret here. That's an octave above this 12th fret and that kind of sound. So you want to be able to get it to sound like that, but with just your thumb and your plucking finger. The goal here is to rest your thumb directly on top of the fret, not in between the fret where you'd get a note. So see if you can rest your thumb on the 24th fret itself and pluck behind it with your middle finger. That's going to be your starting point. So once you can get a sound out of that, we're going to move our right hand towards the bridge, a bit over the pickups. And what you do is you move your hand towards the bridge. You'll notice other harmonics start to come out when you have this same touch to the string. lots. Nail the touch there before you go into those ones, and those ones should come out nice and easy. There are so many to choose from, and the hard part about playing the pinch harmonics is getting that exact one that you're after. So you kind of have to make key reference points here. Maybe it's against maybe the pickups, like I know right on top of this pickup here, I'll get this kind of harmonic. If I go up higher, I'll get up this one. Or in between those two pickups, there's another one that lives there. Sometimes you just kind of send it and you don't have to be super accurate, and the result is just cool. But if you really want to nail that specific octave, then you do have to like literally look and pick a spot like it is a fret and hit that exact area of the string to get that. As you are striking the string with your finger, your thumb is really lightly touching the string. You don't want to mute it. If I push my thumb down harder, too hard, it's going to start muting the string. So basically you just need to keep releasing until it's almost a note, but that harmonic is nice and loud. And that's something you can use for any harmonics anywhere in the bass. The lighter you touch, the louder the harmonic. If you push too hard, it's going to mute it and turn it into a note. The last step of getting this gnarly pinch harmonic sound is actually going to come from your right hand, and that's just from good vibrato. If we just hit the pinch harmonics without vibratoing, sounds cool. But if we start to bend the note and add vibrato with our left hand, it's going to make it sound much more gnarly and like that classic metal pinch harmonic sound. And especially on bass, it's going to be very hard to do that with one finger if you're trying to vibrato with one finger. So vibrato on the left hand is going to be a lot easier on bass if you stack up a few of your fingers, at least your two middle fingers. I find that helps you give a bit more power into those bends. Or rather than this one flying out here, you can just stack it behind as well. It can either assist or just rest there, and that will typically give you the most strength for just good, healthy vibrato. So rather than pulling with just the fingers like this, which I see some people do, this is the most common error with vibratoing, is just pulling with your fingers. You do kind of want to pull it down a bit more with your hand, and you hold all of your hand there, and it's going to give you much more, I don't know, characteristic kind of vibrato. And allow you to get nice wide bends. I'm in a slightly lower tuning here, so my bends are a little bit more wild than usual because my strings are a bit lighter than the tuning actually is, so I can go pretty far, but I can guarantee you I can only do that because I'm using my hand and also a stack of fingers. So combining those two things gives you that gnarly classic pinch harmonic sound, and it just is really cool on bass, especially solo bass music. So the amps you're using for this sound, you're gonna need a little bit more distortion than you usually have to get that extra overdrive to ring out those pinch harmonics nice and loudly against your normal notes there. They can sound quite loud naturally without any amplification, but it really helps you know if you're on the right path when you can hear them through an amp. I'm using extra overdrive going into my dark glass sound, which is giving me a bit more push in front of the dark glass, giving me a bit of an easier time to get those harmonics out. Enjoy annoying your bandmates and your neighbors with this one. Peace out. So I first heard of this kind of idea when my friend Amy, who's the lead singer in a band called Future Static, showed me when we were on tour, kind of a more of a slappy, different kind of way of getting a pinch harmonic out. And that kind of opened up my eyes, and then I rediscovered it many months later and kind of did it in a slightly different way, and I really liked it. So thank you, Amy.